Today is Friday, May 15th, 2026, and today is National Bike to Work Day, which is one of those things that feels simple, but changes depending on where you are and how things are set up. Welcome to Wait That's Random, This Day in History. I'm your host, C.L. Burns, voice actor, audiobook narrator, and your guide through the odd and unexpected corners of history. Let's dive in. On May 15th, 1800, President John Adams ordered the federal government to relocate from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. At the time, Washington wasn't what it is now. It wasn't a fully developed capital. In many ways, it was still being built. Infrastructure was limited. Buildings were incomplete. And yet it was chosen as the center of government, which makes this moment less about the place and more about the decision. Because once something is designated as the center, development follows. Systems are built around it. Activity concentrates there. And over time, the meaning of the place changes. Sometimes a location becomes important not because of what it is, but because of what it's chosen to be. And sometimes something starts small and becomes something people recognize much later. On May 15th, 1905, Las Vegas was officially founded. And at the time, it wasn't a destination. It was a stop, a place along the rail line, useful because of its location, water access, a point between larger routes, but that's where it began. Not as something people traveled to, but as something they passed through. Over time, that changed. Development followed infrastructure. Opportunity followed movement. And eventually it became something people went to on purpose. Sometimes something begins as part of the path, and later becomes the reason for the journey. And sometimes something appears before it becomes what people remember. Today in 1928, Mickey Mouse appeared in the short film Plain Crazy. At the time, it didn't immediately define what the character would become. It was an early version, a test of animation and storytelling. And it didn't reach wide success right away. That came later, with sound, with refinement, with broader distribution. But this moment matters because it's the beginning, before recognition, before identity fully forms, before something becomes iconic. Sometimes what people remember most clearly isn't where something started. It's what it became after. And sometimes those early ideas become entire worlds. L. Frank Baum was born on May 15, 1856. He is best known for writing The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, first published in 1900. The book introduced readers to the land of Oz, along with characters like Dorothy the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. At the time, it stood apart from many traditional fairy tales. It was distinctly American in tone and setting. And it created a world that could be returned to, expanded, and revisited. Baum went on to write multiple Oz books, building out that world over time. And the story continued beyond him, through adaptations, especially the 1939 film, which brought it to an even wider audience. Sometimes what defines someone's work isn't just the story itself. It's the world it creates and how long it lasts. At first, these don't seem connected, but they start to line up. A place is chosen before it fully exists. A stop becomes a destination, and a character appears before becoming recognizable. Different situations, but each one shows how meaning develops over time. Anyway, that's what came together while working through May 15th. Stop in tomorrow and we'll see what the next day has in store for us. If you'd like to hear more of my work or explore the books and projects I've been a part of, you can find it all at waitthat'srandom.com. I'm C.L. Burns, and I appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow.